You know, I remember just a couple years ago on Halloween, it was snowing.
Yeah.
I was bundled up. I don't even think I wore an actual costume because I was like, I'm going to be too cold.
And yet, weren't we feeling like 81 this time last year, too?
Yeah, well, it's funny you both mentioned how we had the previous two. Well, just lo and behold, I actually have the numbers and statistics for the last two Halloweens, and of course, we'll compare that to what we'll see here this upcoming Halloween. Our Elgin Roofing River Cam showing some gorgeous skies right now, plenty of sunshine, and just take a moment and appreciate those leaves changing. Now, the last two Halloweens, and I promise you this was not planned, this is all ad-lib from the anchors when it comes to these temperatures, or at least this graphic. So, hey, you know what? Hats off to them. They read my mind. So in 2024, last year, temperatures, 68 degrees, a very pleasant day. The only exception, had a little bit of light rain. But 2 years ago, got up to 38 degrees, and we actually had a few snowflakes fall. Now, none of it was measurable, but still. So in comparison of the two, we're going to kind of meet in the middle and be where we should be at. Temperatures, well, also where we should be at, sitting in those middle to lower 50s. Winds a little bit on the stronger side out of the northwest, near about 12 or so miles per hour. Really nothing of note on our Anderson Kia Max Storm Tracker, the exception of some clouds slowly but surely making their way back in overhead. And heading into tonight, will be mostly cloudy. Don't think we have any rain chances as we are way too dry at the surface level, with lows dropping down to right around 36 degrees. And just as quickly as those clouds came overhead, well, they're slated to leave for our Friday morning, as will likely be mostly sunny, but by the afternoon, we could see a few fair weather clouds here or there, but once again, no worries whatsoever about any rain. Now, highs for our Friday will top out into those mid-50s, so by the time a lot of us are getting outside to go trick-or-treating, 51 degrees at 5, 48 then for us at 6 o'clock, and by 7 o'clock, as they're starting to wrap up, we'll likely be sitting in those mid-40s. So if you plan on going trick-or-treating or have any young kids, well, maybe try to incorporate an extra long sleeve or maybe some gloves into their attire. And well, I have faith in you guys because a lot of the costumes I've seen this past day or so, or the past couple weeks, have just been phenomenal. Now, progressing on into our Saturday, temperatures looking a little bit cooler as a cool air mass will move overhead, along with a very weak low pressure system. So highs going to struggle to even reach that 50-degree mark, but that low pressure system will also provide us some shower and maybe one or two stray rumbles of thunder. Now, with it, not overly optimistic for just heavy rainfall, but I do still think on and off showers are likely, with total rainfall, maybe no more than a few hundredths of an inch total. Now, progressing on into Saturday night, of course, we do end up falling back an hour, so at 2 o'clock, clocks go back to 1 o'clock, and that'll give us an extra hour of sleep, but that will also push our sunset to 4:48 for Sunday. Yeah, I know I am not looking forward to that whatsoever, but hey, that extra sleep looks pretty nice. I will say though, anytime you change your clocks, a perfect opportunity to go ahead and test those carbon monoxide and those smoke detectors, especially now a lot of us have to turn on the heat. But I think some of us could actually turn off the furnaces just for maybe a day or two heading into the start of next week, as we'll likely get back to zonal flow or more west to east, and with it, temperatures back into the low 60s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, then 57 and for us on our Thursday. So the coolest day by far is going to be the start to our November on Saturday with that high of 47 degrees. And overnight lows still looking a bit chilly, so while we may get a furnace break during the day, at night, they'll likely have to turn on. Let's take a quick look outside our benchmark exterior sky carp cam. And again, none of this was planned. They're two toss over to me. But the fact that you both mentioned the last year and then the year before that's Halloween, I think it worked out.
Great minds think alike.
I know.
There we go. And before you know it, then we'll be talking about snow for real.
I know.
Yeah.
Boo. Well, you can check DJ's full forecast on our Halloween